Hey, I don't know what's wrong with my body, but I somehow lost 11 pounds ever since I came to LA. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies. And today I'm going to be doing a movie roundup video where I talk about movies I watched in April 2022, part 2. Let's go. Also, I'm sorry if I sound really tired right now because I'm sleep deprived as hell. So, starting off, I watched Turning Red, directed by Domi Shi. This is the latest cartoon movie from Disney Pixar, and I already did a full-length review on it, so check that one out. But basically, it's weird. This is easily one of the most unhinged and insane movies I've seen from Disney Pixar. I mean, I've seen tons of insanity, but this one might just top it off. The main character is a furry, all the women in her family tree are furries. It's unbelievable. I can't believe my eyes. The animation of this movie is just very overdramatic and not in a good way. And also, in my opinion, the way it sells Chinese culture is just very weird and misleading. So, I'm sorry, this movie is just not for me. 6 out of 10. Next up, I finally finished watching 86 or 86 Season 2. This is a light novel created by Asato, and it is adapted into an anime by A1 Pictures. And just like Season 1, this anime has a fantastic premise. I really love it when animes explore themes of politics and war. And the battle scenes are mostly really well done, and the voice acting is fantastic. However, it is far from perfect. It has some pacing issues, especially in the middle parts of the season, and I just think the characters are just okay. They're just not necessarily all that deep or interesting or anything. So, yeah, still not a bad anime, not at all. 7 out of 10. Then, I finally watched Agassi, or The Handmaiden, a 2016 thriller film directed by Park Chan-wook. And I also did a full-length review on it, so check that one out as well. But man, this is definitely one of the most insane, fun, perverted, riveting, intelligent, and fucked up movies I've ever seen. The acting and the production design of this film is top-notch. And I went into this film thinking that I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, thinking that I'm gonna enjoy it extremely because A, I love period films, B, Oldboy, also directed by Park Chan-wook, is an amazing film that I love, C, come on man, I love movies. The trailer of this film is easily one of the best trailers I've ever seen. However, I just didn't really enjoy this movie as much as I wanted to. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the editing. It's just really choppy. But then again, maybe the editing will grow on me on a rewatch. Also, both surprisingly and unsurprisingly, this movie is extremely fast-paced. So, if you haven't watched this movie and you're planning to watch it soon, buckle your seatbelts. 9 out of 10. Then I watched SpiderMan Into the SpiderVerse, directed by Rodney Rothman, Peter Ramsey, and Bob Persichetti. This might be one of the best Marvel adaptations out there. This is super vibrant and colorful. The animation is wacky, but it doesn't feel overly exaggerated at all. It's just the right amount of exaggeration and comedic effect. And what I really love about this movie is that it's not just a simple superhero movie. It takes its source material and basically elevates it into a coming-of-age story that touches on personal struggles. It is a beautiful story in and of itself, and in its core as well. So, yeah, what can I say? Amazing movie. 9 out of 10. Next up, I watched Mean Girls, directed by Mark Waters. Woo! So, yeah, as a person who usually hates teen movies, movies like this makes me want to kill myself. But jokes aside, in its core, Mean Girls actually has a pretty solid premise. It's just the cliches and the teenage stereotypes and the Americanisms that really piss me off. I don't know why, but most American teen dramas, if not all the American teen dramas and teen comedies I've seen, also fall into stupid cliches like the nerds, the jocks, the hot girls, the cliques. Maybe it's real, maybe the American teenage lifestyle truly do involve these things, and I wouldn't know because I'm not American. And I can't relate to it, nor do I find it all that compelling or amusing. I also did a full-length review on it, so check that one out, but Yeah, I don't want to come off too harsh here. Mean Girls is not that bad, but it's just not for me. 6 out of 10. Then I watched Burning, directed by Lee Chang-dong. This movie is recommended by my former Chinese teacher, and it's been on my watch list for a long time. Burning is actually an adaptation of a short story by Murakami Haruki, and another Murakami Haruki adapted movie I watched is Drive My Car, and just like Drive My Car, Burning has complicated, interesting characters, weird sex, a love triangle, and a slow but cerebral pacing, and I really love all those elements. And Steven Yeun's casting is actually brilliant, because not only does this movie use Steven Yeun for star power, but also Steven Yeun legitimately fits the role of a Korean man who just doesn't seem all that Korean. Something's off about his character, but not enough to make you think, okay, he's definitely evil. The movie ends off really confusing, but what I love about this film is that because the ending is so confusing, it constantly makes you think about it. This movie really makes me want to do a full-on 30-minute long video where I just talk about my theories and analysis on this film. Maybe I'll do it, who knows? 8 out of 10. Then I watched Shudder, a Thai horror movie from 2004 directed by Ban Jong, P. Santanakun, and Wongpum Pakpum. Damn, this is genuinely one of the scariest movies I've ever watched in my life, and even though the story is kind of basic, the scares are really, really effective. There have been multiple moments in this movie where I had to exit full screen because it's just too goddamn scary, and the last time this had happened to me was Hereditary, and that was 5 years ago, so yeah, this is really impressive. 8 out of 10. Then I watched Heat from the year 1995, directed by Michael Mann. I watched the first 15 minutes of this film with my cousins and my brother at my cousin's place last summer, but we never continued because the TV kept buffering. But finally, I watched it. I watched the full thing, and to my surprise, the whole thing is 2 hours and 50 minutes long. What? Yeah, it's a heist epic, or, well, not really a heist epic, more like a crime epic, more like a robbery epic, but it is an epic nonetheless. It has rich characters and a solid script. Sometimes while watching the film, you can almost hear the slug lines and the parentheses. That being said though, I recognize the great technicality of this film, but it's just not my kind of movie. This isn't the kind of movie where it just makes me want to rewatch it many times. It's really good, but yeah, it's really good. 9 out of 10. Light 9. Sip of water. Finally, I watched Sommaren med Monica, or Summer with Monica, directed by Ingmar Bergman. This is my 5th Bergman film and also my 4th film in my monthly Bergman binge ever since I think Persona by the end of January. Yeah. This is probably my least favorite out of all the 5 Bergman films I've watched, unfortunately. It's just really, really slow paced without anything all that compelling or engaging going on. The story itself is great, and I really like Bergman's very still and stern take on realist drama. But overall, it's just way more forgettable than the other 4 Bergman films I've seen. I mean, don't get me wrong, the cinematography is amazing. Some of the shots here are beautiful, and given that this film was from 1953, I'm kinda impressed. And the directing is also really good, but overall, it's just, it's okay. It's decent. And that's it. That's all. 7 out of 10. So, have you watched these movies from 1 to 10? How much did you rate them? Like if you like them, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. Also, I'm 4 episodes away from finishing Osama Ranking, or Ranking of Kings, so, yeah, expect that to end up in my next movie roundup video.